Welcome to another episode of Pause for Reflection. One of the things that's interested me is what made Jesus leave the comfort of his family, his friends, his relatives, and the comfort of his village and travel south to a whole new city. It's now believed it was the charismatic John the Baptist must have attracted him, and his message must have hit home with Jesus. And later on, and certainly in the early part of his ministry, we hear Jesus almost repeating the preaching of John the Baptist. But there was more to it than that. Something drove him out into the wilderness. And nobody goes into the wilderness of Palestine without really having to. And having gone into the wilderness, he changes. His mindset changes. He starts speaking with a deep sense of authority. When he returns back home, they almost can't believe he's the same person. He's almost changed his whole persona. Something that's really interested me over the last 12 to 18 months is the interaction between science and religion. Why do we think the things we think and believe? 95% of who we are by midlife is a series of subconscious programs that have become automatic. And here's some of the common ones: driving a car, brushing your teeth, overeating when stressed, worrying about our future, judging our friends, complaining about our lives, blaming our parents, not believing in ourselves, and one of the most surprising, insisting in being chronically unhappy. Subconscious programs are running us because the body has become the mind. This means we will think the same thoughts, feel the same feelings, react in identical ways, behave in the same manner, believe in the same dogmas, and perceive reality in the same ways. I'm convinced Jesus was aware of these concepts. And his way of being driven out into the wilderness is a way to radically change his own thoughts, his mind, and believe in a different way. The remainder of his ministry is essentially how to get people to change the way they think. The big challenge for us all is, how do we change? Nobody wants to change, not willingly. Often people change when we're struck down by disaster. But in John's Gospel, he talks about bringing life and bringing it to the full. And for many of us, this is an alien concept. We live in our own misery. Although we talk about joy, it's not something we experience. So the Gospel is about finding a new way of life. It is about finding joy. Jesus talks about it. But yet, we seem to be having some difficulty in trying to attain it. The challenge for us all: how do we reconnect with God? How do we find a way that simplifies our lives? For Jesus, it was finding a way of simplifying your thought process to live in the present. He believed if you're able to do that, you're able to reconnect with God. And once you're able to reconnect with God, then truly you can find a way of believing in the way of the gospel.